Saturday, when Barbara passed away, was a Saturday that in Jewish synagogues around the world, all Jews read the portion of the Bible that talks about the highest virtue is hospitality. That very Shabbat, that very Saturday. He talked about Abraham, that he was sick and he was weak, and he was in his tent. And the Bible says that Abraham's tent, Abraham was the first Jew, the first person to recognize monotheism, to recognize there's only one God who created all of us. His tent had 4 openings, one on each direction, so that God forbid he's going to miss the opportunity to see a traveler from either side of his tent and somehow not invite him to the tent. Hospitality was important, and they're telling us in that particular parsha that we read this very past Saturday, that even when he was sick, when he saw 3 angels, 3 people, 3 messengers that came toward his tent, he got up and he came to greet them and offer them water and food. And it's interesting that this is the portion of the Bible that we read on that very Saturday. It says that God was trying to talk to Abraham at that time, and Abraham said, God, could you please wait until I tend to my guests? It sounds almost strange and almost disrespectful, but the truth is that God does not want us to serve him. God prefers that we serve people around us, because the people are reflection of God. And we need to remember it in this day and age in our world. So you see, there are no coincidences. In Judaism, we believe that the Torah portion, the Bible portion that we read during the time of a person's birth or person's death, leads us to better understand that individual. Barbara loved people. She loved hosting them. She loved family, and she loved friends. This past Saturday, I was in the synagogue when I heard the shocking tragedy of our sister congregation in Pittsburgh. I was obviously, like all of us here, shocked and upset and sad. And when I heard from our president, Steve Ginsburg, who was also the partner of Howard in the business, he asked me, would you come, Rabbi, and visit Barbara as she is really sick? I was honored. I thanked him for honoring me with this particular good deed, particular mitzvah, and I said, of course, I will. Steve Ginsburg, being the mensch that he is, asked again, are you sure it's such a crazy day? You have family from Israel, they're leaving in about 48 hours. And I said, visiting the sick is not something that has to be ordered by convenience. Sickness is never convenience, and visiting someone sick is never has to do with what convenient. And of course, I said I would love to go. I entered the house for the very first time. I never met Barbara before. And the first thing that I saw when I walked into the house, I saw a picture of Barbara and my hero, Golda Meir, from 1977. Being born and raised in Israel, Golda Meir, the Prime Minister of Israel. I immediately looked at the picture and I said, wow, I am in a home of a strong woman. Barbara was a strong woman. She was a devoted mother who raised 2 sons, Howard and Jeff, practically on her own, wanting her kids to have everything they wanted and needed. She worked 3 jobs, as we heard before, and she never ever let them feel that they are lacking anything. She never gave her sons the reason to think twice whether or not they should or should not bring a friend to dinner. Anyone who wanted to come was invited and was welcome. She used to joke and say that if she has additional unexpected guests, all she needed to do is just add 2 more cups of water to the soup and no one will know the difference. So it's not a surprise that Howard developed love and passion for cooking and food, hospitality, catering. And in case any of you here haven't seen Howard on TV with Mr. Food Company, if you saw him, you will see how he can turn meals into feasts, and he probably spontaneously say, "Ooh, it's so good." In this living room, as I walked in, I was welcomed not only by Howard and Jeff, her sons, but also Patty, her daughter by choice. Patty is Howard's wife, but she's really also Barbara's daughter by choice, by love, and by devotion. Patty has been there for Barbara at all times, shopping and cooking, picking up medicine for Barbara, and checking on her all the time. These tasks were never done as a duty, but it was labor of love. Barbara was truly blessed to have a daughter-in-law like Patty. I also met Millie, her best friend. Where are you, Millie? And you welcomed me there. And I met her handsome brother, head full of hair. Is this a wig? No. Teddy, you have beautiful hair. I'm talking about you, Teddy. There's so many 35-year-old Jewish men who would be jealous of Teddy's hair, but Teddy and Connie were there, and as I sat in the living room, conversing with the people and the family members, looking at the walls with so many pictures of family, and I tried to really take it all in before I made my way from the living room to visit Barbara. Because everything I saw on the wall and the expressions that I saw in the people around me taught me a little more about Barbara that I was going to visit. When I went into the room, I saw Barbara. She was in bed, she was lying down. It was just the night before that she had a beautiful Shabbat dinner, she had a Friday night dinner. She was full of life and humor, and she enjoyed. And Saturday morning, she felt so strong that she hopped out of bed. And it was an unfortunate fall that caused her to severely break her hip. The caregivers and the family made sure that she was medicated so that she's not going to be in tremendous pain. She was not awake, her eyes were closed, and I walked in and I heard her giving a loud sigh with every breath she took. I asked for privacy. I wanted to be with her alone. And I sat there. And in these times, if you wonder what do rabbis do when they visit somebody in their final days, the only thing we know to do is to pray together. And I sat and I prayed and recited the most important prayers in Jewish tradition. And when I reached the point in my prayer book where I recited the prayer Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Prayer that declares our belief in God and only in one God. I got up and I went closer to her and I sang in her ear, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. I sang in her ear the same thing 7 times, hoping and praying for a miracle. She looked at me and she opened her big eyes. Her eyes locked. She looked at me with big eyes. She looked grateful. With her eyes, she had a whole conversation with me. She wasn't able to get up and offer me a cup of tea and to host me like she always was used to. Like Abraham did, to get up and host the guests. But she opened her eyes and looked at me. And her expression said, I recognize this prayer. I recognize the melody. I'm grateful. I thought to myself, this is too much of a miracle and too much of a powerful moment that should not only be between her and I. I truly felt and sensed that God was in that room at that moment. And when her eyes were open, I really did see the strength. I saw the strong woman who battled several cancers and never gave up. I saw the woman who raised 2 children by herself and gave them more than any financial ability that she had. I saw a woman who was an actress and a producer in community theater, someone full of life, and I saw all this. And I thought, her sons need to see that as well. So I walked out of the room into the living room and I asked Jeff and Howard to please come back into the room with me and please recite this very special prayer for her, for the mother. And they did. Asking God to perform such miracle again was almost chutzpah. It was almost unrealistic. But they walked in and they recited the prayer. What mother will not recognize the voice of the children she raised? And sure enough, when they recited the prayer and sang to her, she opened her eyes and looked at them directly. As a rabbi who does it often, I want to tell you that something like this, I don't remember. It was really a powerful moment. She looked at them. She saw both of her children by her side, which is something that every parent wants to see. She just gave them a beautiful gift back. Howard and Jeff, your mother gave you a gift by looking at you straight in the eyes, letting you know that you did your duty to stand by her side, and and to send her away with the most comforting words of prayers. Barbara left this world with that certain knowledge that she was loved. We're going to now say a special prayer. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. If you know the words, you have it. Oh, okay. You can read with me if you want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in straight path for his name's sake. Yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. אל מלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמת ברברה בת רוזן הנרי שהלכה לעולמה, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. אנא בעל הרחמים, הסתיריה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה. אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ולומר אמן. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, to the soul of Barbara Goldberg, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace, and let us all say, Amen. I'm going to say the Kaddish, which is the prayer that really talks only about life, not about death. And I would like Jeff and Howard to please stand up. Do you have We will say it again today at the Shiva, and all of us will say it, okay? Okay. All right, but if you please stand up. Oh, they give everybody one. Okay. Yes. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעולמה יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. לחיוכו וחיוכו.